G'day everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going through who I've tipped for round 18 and how much I think they were going to win by. And I'm also going to go through my tips for round 17 and see which ones I got incorrect. Now if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course hit the notification bell so you can be notified when a new video is coming out. Enough wasting your time, let's get straight into it. Now in round 17 I only got one tip incorrect, so I'm actually quite proud of that, and that was actually one of the biggest games of the round, surprisingly, and you would not think that seeing the two teams that are playing being Swans v Saints. I was genuinely in shock when I saw the scores at 3/4 time. I'm like, oh my god, the Saints could genuinely win this game. And then they went on to win it by roughly 4 points, I think it was. I don't know, something around that. Either way, it was a very close game, and the Saints actually got the job done, which is quite surprising. Obviously I did tip the Swans, that's why I got it incorrect. And I'm so surprised at the fact that the Swans have only lost 3 games this year, and 2 of those games were against teams that are in the current bottom 4. But yeah, that game's going to be by far one of the biggest upsets of the year, and that's why I got that incorrect. Anyway, let's just move on to the tips that I've got for round 18. Starting off the round, on the Friday, we got Pies v Cats at the MCG. Last week, the Pies had a solid lead at 3/4 time against the Bombers, but it just seems as if whenever Essendon took the lead, it was just hard for Collingwood to obviously just score another goal, which was obviously shown in the 3rd quarter when the Essendon Bombers left Collingwood goalless for that entire quarter. The Cats, on the other hand, were able to get the job done pretty easily last week after beating the Hawks by 51 points. Brody Mychek had just come back from injury against the Gold Coast Suns a few weeks back and is officially out for the rest of the season after an injury to his pec. The Cats have won their last 2 games, and the Pies, on the other hand, have lost both of their last 2 games. And because of the 2 draws earlier in the season for the Pies and a few losses in between, it's going to be quite difficult for the Pies to make finals if they do happen to lose this game. If they do happen to lose this game, I believe they have to win every single game after this if they want to secure a spot in the top 8. But I do think with everything that the Pies have on the line, they will put up quite a good fight, but I think the Cats will just get the better of them and win the game by 5 points. Starting for Saturday, we've got Hawks v Freo at UTAS Stadium. Now, even though this game is being played at UTAS, you would probably think that Freo will get the job done. The Hawks coming off a loss against the Cats with the margin being 51 points, and Freo, on the other hand, are coming off back-to-back wins, one of those games being against the Swans. I'm going to keep this tip nice and simple, and I'm going to go the Freo Dockers by 30 points. Next game, we've got Swans v North at the SCG. You would think this is an easy game to tip, but after last week, you really don't know. Last week, the Swans lost against St Kilda in one of the biggest upsets of the year. And North Melbourne won their 2nd game of the year against the Gold Coast Suns last week. But realistically, it's at the SCG, so the Swans should get the job done, and I'll go Sydney by 42 points. Next game, we've got Dogs v Blues at Marvel Stadium. Majority of the Dogs' wins this year have been at Marvel Stadium, and I've said this many times, the Dogs are one of the best Marvel Stadium sides in the league. But out of the 4 games that Carlton have played at Marvel Stadium this year, they've only lost 1 of those games. And even though the Dogs have been a strong side at Marvel all year, the Blues have just been a stronger side in general in the whole competition, with them sitting at 2nd on the ladder. And I think even though the Blues are going to probably struggle a little bit because the Dogs have more experience at Marvel Stadium, I think I'll still have to go to the Blues with this one, and I'll go the Blues by 20 points. Next game, we've got Adelaide v Saints at Adelaide Oval. Now, if I was to tip this game last week, I'd be tipping Adelaide without even hesitation, but after last week when the Saints beat the Swans in one of the biggest upsets of the year, obviously, it's kind of making this tip a tiny bit difficult. The Crows are unfortunately coming off a loss against the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba. Now, the Crows obviously do have the home ground advantage, but they actually have not been able to win too many games away from home this year. I think last week after beating the Swans, the Saints' confidence levels will have skyrocketed, and I think the Saints will actually get the job done here by 10 points. And to finish off the Saturday, we've got D's v Dons at the MCG. Both these teams are coming off wins, with the D's beating the West Coast Eagles by 54 points last week, and Essendon beating the Pies last week by 12 points. It seems the D's midfield will actually be quite poor this week, with obviously Petrarca being out for the rest of the season. We already knew that. When Max Gawn is likely to miss this week and potentially in the next few weeks after an injury last week due to his ankle. And the Bombers midfield at the moment is better than ever, with Jai Caldwell and Zach Merritt last week getting 30 disposals in total. So I think the Bombers probably will get the job done here, and I'll go Essendon by 29 points. So then for Sunday, we've got Suns v Port at People First Stadium. The Suns have really confused me this year, with them being undefeated at home, but have not yet won a game away from home. And after losing to North Melbourne last week at Marvel Stadium, you'd probably think they don't win an away game all year. Even though the Suns are undefeated at People First Stadium, with Port Adelaide having players like Zach Butters and Connor Rosie, you'd probably think their midfield would be unbeatable. And Gold Coast are probably due a loss at home, so I might actually go Gold Coast to lose this game, and I might go Port Adelaide by 9 points. Next game, we've got Tigers v Giants at the MCG. I'm not going to get too stuck into this one, because since last week when Richmond lost to Fremantle, They officially have dropped down to dead last of the ladder, and our GWS have finally found their spot back in the top 8 and are comfortably going to stay there after this week. So I'm going to go the GWS Giants by 40 points. And final game of the round, we've got Eagles v Lions at Optus Stadium. And even though this game is being played at Optus, the Eagles' last 2 games have been quite poor. I mean, both those losses by the Eagles in the last 2 weeks have been by 50 plus points. And the Lions, on the other hand, they're just getting better each week, and they're looking like the side that they were last year at the moment, and they're very much going to make the top 8 this year, in my opinion. And they may as well add this one to the wins list this season. Let's go the Lions by 54 points. It's going to be an absolute smashing, this one. And that just about wraps up this round of tipping. Now, if you guys did enjoy this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and of course, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos coming out. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.